Okay, so what I want to do today is I want to give everybody a quick introduction to the new layout that we have in the Remix editor. And so if you've been using Remix's IDE, the online IDE, you may have noticed that they've been notifying us that they have a new layout that's going to be coming soon, and they've asked us to go ahead and take a look at it. So what I want to do is kind of showcase some of that new features that we'll see in that new layout and give you guys a quick introduction to it. So let's go ahead and take a look. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go out here to remix.ethereum.org, and that's just going to take us into that Ethereum editor, that Remix editor that we're normally used to using. And so normally what we've done here is we've pretty much kind of used our code editor here in the center. We had our compiler kind of over here at the side. We'd select our compile version. We had our runtime, and we could do kind of our debugger and our testing and all that kind of fun stuff that we could do with all these various different plugins that we had that kind of help support kind of basically our ability to write code and then run that code and see the output of that code in our terminal down here at the bottom. And so over here at the left, we kind of had our file explorer. Now, if we move into the new interface, so if I go ahead and select right here, there's a button to switch to the new interface. It's going to take me into this new interface here, and I'll see this new layout. Now, a couple of things that are going to go ahead and just kind of just show you at a high level is that when we look at this new layout structure over here on the left-hand side, what we see is basically kind of what we would consider kind of an icons panel. And so on that icons panel, all we have to start out with is the bare bones minimum, which is just kind of our home page, which is what we see here. We have the file explorer, which is what we're seeing here, and what's called the swap panel, and we can enable and disable any icons that we've selected in that swap panel by just simply selecting them again. And then we'll see that as well with the plugin icon here, so we can come in and activate or deactivate various different plugins. Now, of course, these plugins coincide with the icons that we would see here on that icon panel. So as an example, if I go ahead and turn on my compiler and my deploy and run, which is the two things that we normally are used to seeing, then I can come over here and I can go into the compiler and I can set my compile version like we normally are used to. We can turn on auto compile, and then when we can go into our run, we can set our runtime environment, and we can define what we want to send in our transactions and see our transaction output. So we can go ahead and we can kind of see kind of the same kind of concepts that we would see normally. It's just a different way for us to manage those plugins. In here, one other thing that I also want to show you that's kind of unique, that is unique to this new layout, is when we do go to the home page, you will notice that they can set this environment up for both Solidity and for Vyper. So if you do want to write your smart contract code in Vyper instead of Solidity, you're not limited to the Solidity coding language. In addition to that, you can probably already know this, but you can also inject assembly, of course, WebAssembly into your Solidity code as well. So you can just do the opcodes in essence. All right, so anyway, hopefully that makes sense to everyone. So let's go ahead and just kind of take a look real quick at one other thing that I wanted to show you before we sign off here. Down here at the bottom, there's this settings section. And on here, this, of course, one of the things I always turn on is this text wrapping. But another thing you also might want to take a look at down here at the bottom. Also you can enable your GIST token, so you can go ahead and set up basically your API to your GitHub account. And so if you wanted to do that, you can set that up there. And then also you can define your theme. So if you wanted to change the look and the feel, you can just select that little cogwheel down there at the bottom of that icon panel, and then that'll allow you to get into these settings, and you can go ahead and change out that look and feel and make that a little different than what it is by default. So let's go ahead and just wrap that up and take a look. And so that's basically what that does for us there. And so if we wanted to just change out that look and feel, we could just select whatever look and feel that we might want to use instead of the defaults. All right, so hopefully that made sense to everyone. Everyone was able to gain a lot of value out of this quick training session. And if you did get some value out of this, or if you do want to learn a little bit more about how to become an Ethereum developer, or if you want to learn a little bit more about blockchain in general, and we also have a little bit more about blockchain and IoT, so the Internet of Things, and how we can use sensors and devices in order to track and trace information and help to, in essence, provide additional value. So if those are things that you're interested in and you want to learn more about that kind of stuff, I encourage you to go out and check out the Blockchain Training Alliance and get signed up for some of our upcoming classes. And so Chad and Rosa and Melissa will all set you up and get you signed up. And so I encourage you to give them a call, and we'll see you guys in class. All right, we'll see you on the next round. Take care, guys.